What if I told you that the secret to a longer, healthier life could be hiding right in your lunchbox? Not in a pill, not in some super expensive supplement, but in the colors of the foods you eat every single day. It sounds simple, right? But science says it might just be revolutionary. In 2025, researchers released a massive study that followed more than 124,000 people over several decades. What they found was eye-opening. People who consumed not just more flavonoids but a greater variety of them had significantly lower risks of dying early and developing major chronic diseases like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. We're talking about a 14% lower risk of all-cause mortality. That's not a small bump. That's the kind of number that gets scientists excited, and here's the kicker. It wasn't just how many flavonoids you consumed, it was how diverse your intake was. In other words, it's not enough to just eat blueberries every day and call it a win. You've got to mix it up. Apples one day, spinach the next, green tea in the morning, a bit of dark chocolate at night. This diversity gives your body a broader arsenal of natural plant compounds, each with their own superpowers. But hold on, what are flavonoids exactly? Flavonoids are naturally occurring chemicals found in plants responsible for the vibrant colors in fruits and vegetables. That red in strawberries, the deep purple in eggplants, the green in kale. But they're more than just pretty pigments. These compounds are powerful antioxidants. They help reduce inflammation, fight oxidative stress, regulate blood pressure and sugar levels, and even protect the brain. There are over 5,000 different flavonoids identified so far, and each one plays a slightly different role in the body. Some improve circulation, others boost your immune response, some help detoxify cells. Imagine giving your body a Swiss Army knife of protection. That's what eating a wide variety of flavonoids does. What the study really drove home was that we often underestimate the power of everyday foods. We search for magic cures and fancy supplements but forget that nature already built a pharmacy into our meals. And one of the most interesting things about the findings, people didn't need to make extreme changes to see benefits. Just adding a cup of tea, a serving of berries, and some dark leafy greens to your day made a huge difference. In fact, the researchers identified a sweet spot, around 500 milligrams of flavonoids daily, where the greatest health benefits seem to kick in. To put that into perspective, that's like eating an apple, a few strawberries, a serving of spinach, and sipping on some tea. Totally doable, right? But why does variety matter so much? Think of it this way. Each flavonoid-rich food has a different set of tools. Some target your blood vessels, others your liver, others your brain. If you eat the same 3 foods over and over, you're only arming your body with a few tools. But when you bring in new colors, textures, and plant sources, you're building a more complete defense system. It's like upgrading your immune system from a rusty toolbox to a full-blown hardware store. Let's take a quick example. Quercetin, found in apples and onions, is known for its anti-inflammatory properties. Catechins in green tea help improve heart health. Anthocyanins in blueberries and red cabbage support brain function. Flavones in parsley and celery aid digestion. When you eat across this colorful spectrum, you're not just feeding yourself, you're protecting yourself. And there's something beautifully empowering about that. Now, beyond the science, let's talk real life. Why don't we eat more of these foods if the benefits are so clear? Well, one big reason is habit. We're creatures of routine. We grab the same groceries, make the same meals, eat the same snacks. But what this research shows is that simply changing up your food choices a few times a week can have long-term effects. Not overnight magic, but meaningful protection built meal by meal. And here's something else the study hinted at. Flavonoid diversity may even support healthier aging. Not just living longer, but living better. Less inflammation, better cognitive health, more energy. It's not about eating like a monk or giving up the foods you love. It's about balance. It's about adding, not subtracting. Adding a handful of berries to your breakfast. Throwing in some red cabbage to your salad. Brewing a cup of tea instead of soda. These small shifts build momentum. They become part of your rhythm. And before you know it, your meals aren't just meals. They're medicine. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great in theory, but what about people who don't have access to all these foods? That's a valid point. But here's the hopeful part. Many flavonoid-rich foods are surprisingly affordable and accessible. Think about beans, apples, onions, tea, cabbage, herbs, all packed with flavonoids, all easy to find. You don't need exotic powders or imported berries. Start simple, start local. The benefits are still there. So the next time you're at the grocery store or planning your meals, think color, think variety, think, what haven't I eaten this week? Because your body doesn't need perfect. It needs diversity, it needs options, and now we have strong science to back that up. Food isn't just fuel, it's information. It tells your body how to repair, defend, and thrive. And with flavonoids, the message is clear. Nature's colors aren't just beautiful, they're powerful. So what's one colorful food you'll try this week that you haven't had in a while, because a longer, healthier life might just start with your next bite?